Anytime you haggle over price, you're actually playing a game with some very specific and kind of old rules. And believe it or not, one of the most fundamental rules for every single deal we make today, it all comes from this simple story about a farm sale way back in 1840. Okay, so let's put this into a situation you've probably thought about. Let's say you're selling your car for, I don't know, 5 grand. Someone comes along and offers you 4,500. You say, nope, not enough. And then they immediately turn around and say, okay, fine, I'll take it for your original 5,000. So, do you have a deal? Are you now legally forced to sell it to them for that price? Well, to figure that out, we've got to travel back in time. All right, so here we go. The year is 1840. The place is England. And our story revolves around two men and one single negotiation for a farm. It seemed pretty straightforward at the time, but, well, it ended up changing everything. So let's meet our players. On one side, you've got Mr. Wrench. He's the one selling his farm. And on the other side, we have Mr. Hyde, who really wants to buy it. Simple enough, right? A seller, a buyer, a farm. But as always, the devil is in the details. And this is where things get interesting. The whole case, literally the entire thing, boils down to the back and forth between these two guys. Let's walk through exactly what happened, because every single step here is crucial. Okay, so check this out. It starts on June 6th. Wrench makes his offer. I'll sell you my farm for £1,000. Simple. 2 days later, on June 8th, Hyde comes back with his own idea. How about £950 instead? That's his counteroffer. Now, things go quiet for a bit until June 27th, when Wrench officially says no thanks to the 950. So what does Hyde do? Just 2 days later, he says, all right, you win. I'll take it for the original £1,000. But here's the kicker. Mr. Wrench refused to sell. He figured that £1,000 offer was ancient history. So, of course, Mr. Hyde sues him. Hyde's argument was, hey, that £1,000 offer was still on the table, and I accepted it. So the court had to figure it out. Was there actually a binding contract? Was Wrench forced to sell? What do you think? The answer to that question comes from a legal principle that this very case helped establish. It's called the mirror image rule, and it's a concept that completely changed the game for how we negotiate. And honestly, the mirror image rule is, well, it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. For your yes to count, for it to actually form a contract, it has to be a perfect, flawless reflection of the original offer. It has to match every single term, absolutely and without any conditions. You change one tiny little thing, and poof, you've shattered the mirror. The deal's not. So let's look at our guys. Wrench offered the farm for £1,000. Hyde came back with 950. Are those two numbers a mirror image of each other? Absolutely not. So Hyde's response wasn't an acceptance at all. It was something completely different. A counteroffer. A brand new deal. And this is the most important part of the whole story. A counteroffer doesn't just tweak the original deal. It completely destroys it. It terminates it. The second Mr. Hyde said, I'll give you $950, that original £1,000 offer from Mr. Wrench, it was gone, vanished, poof, wiped off the face of the earth, legally speaking. It could not be brought back to life. So once you understand that rule, the court's final decision becomes incredibly simple. The judge in the case, a guy named Lord Langdale, basically laid it all out. He said that Mr. Hyde made his own offer, that £950 one. And by doing that, he was actively rejecting the original deal from Wrench. He made it super clear. It was just not possible for Hyde to then try and revive an offer that he himself had already killed. So, the final count of legally binding contracts between these two, a big fat zero. None. Wrench was under no obligation to sell that farm because, legally speaking, they never actually agreed on anything. Okay, so why does a dusty old farm dispute from the 1840s matter to you today? Well, because this rule, the mirror image rule, shows up in almost every negotiation you will ever be a part of. I mean, seriously, think about it. You get a job offer. You go back and ask for more money. You just killed their first offer. They don't have to honor it anymore. You're trying to buy a house and you put in an offer below the asking price. Guess what? The asking price is now gone. You can't just go back and accept it later. This is everywhere, haggling on Facebook Marketplace, negotiating business deals. It's the same principle every single time. So if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's that negotiation really is a delicate dance. When you make a counteroffer, you're not saying maybe to the other person's deal. You are saying a hard no. And in the eyes of the law, you're starting a completely new conversation because that old offer, it's gone for good. So the next time you find yourself bargaining for something, just remember old Mr. Hyde and Mr. Wrench and ask yourself this simple question. Am I just making a new offer, or am I about to kill the one that's already on the table? Knowing the difference, well, that could change everything.